Construction on 19th Street is behind schedule. Some business owners tell us they were already frustrated with the timeline when the project started in 2022, but now they are even more frustrated after weeks of crewless work zones right in front of their stores.
KCBD News Channel 11's investigative reporter Shaley Kidwell looked into the delays and the new estimated completion date. She has the latest in our ongoing traffic troubles investigation.
There's always work to be done at Tornado Industrial Arts in the Depot District. And for the last 30 years, Larry Simmons has been right here to do it.
I've been down in the Depot District since '94.
Simmons' metalworking shop is on the corner of 19th Street and Buddy Holly, where there's also a lot of work taking place just outside his business.
Chaos. Actually, absolute chaos.
In June 2022, TxDOT began a nearly $26 million road project to rebuild a roughly 3-mile stretch of 19th Street from I-27 to Memphis Avenue. The project includes updates to the drainage system, sidewalks, and traffic signals. The contractor, Sasir, is also installing a new water line for the city of Lubbock and performing storm utility work in the area. Chester Marston says he visits the Depot District multiple times a month and is irritated by the closures.
This is an inconvenience beyond the pale. I'm glad I don't have a business on this road.
Simmons says he doesn't rely on a lot of foot traffic for business, but his neighbors do.
These guys that are restaurants and the Cactus and Blue Light and Tom's, Cast Iron Grill and Cha-Cha's, they're hurting.
Daryl Holland owns the Cactus Theater next door to Simmons on Buddy Holly Avenue. We first interviewed Holland about the construction project in December of last year. He told us touring acts needed alley access to load and unload equipment near the stage doors, but the barricades on 19th Street created a literal roadblock.
You know, a big tour bus has to have area. They need these multiple lanes to swing out.
More than 9 months later, alley access is still blocked.
From parking for patrons to performers, it's just been some kind of a nightmare.
Holland believes this construction project is to blame for the drop in business.
We're off 25 to 35%.
Joe Keller owns Triple J's restaurant across the street and says fewer customers are coming through the doors.
The construction down here, it's hurting everybody's business, and I've noticed that a drop in our sales.
That frustration only grew when activity on 19th Street recently stopped.
At least 4 months where there wasn't a single person working.
The intersection at 19th and Texas has been shut down. It went at one point 18 weeks. We were like a prisoner in a cell marking off the days and the weeks, and we got to 18 with no movement out here.
We met with Diana Asensio with TxDOT to find out why construction halted.
So we've had delays with the crews finding utilities that weren't in the plans. We've also had to make some adjustments to the drainage system plans. What was actually out there on site did not match what was in the plans, so we had to stop construction.
Asensio says 19th Street is an old roadway, and some of the utilities are decades old, which is likely why the city's maps aren't accurate.
There's old utilities that are in there that have been abandoned, more than likely were placed before any kind of mapping started.
We asked the city of Lubbock why their plans don't match what crews found on site. The city sent us a statement that reads in part, the field conditions that the contractor found that do not match up to the existing engineering plan sets are unknown water taps that have been discovered during construction. This is a minimal change to the engineering plan set for any experienced water utilities contractor. The city of Lubbock believes that the overrun work for taps could be performed with minimal disruption to the project timeline. We also asked the city what the biggest challenges are with this project. The city responded, the greatest challenge for this project is the lack of progress by the contractor. It is the city's understanding that Sasir has laid 2,000 feet of pipeline in a 2-year period while performing the water utility work. During that time, the contractor has hit multiple water utilities, which resulted in water leaks on the project. City of Lubbock pipeline crews responded to these leaks to make repairs. Project management is solely under TxDOT's control. Sasir recently hired Deerwood Construction as a utilities subcontractor contractor, a longtime experienced water utility contractor in the city of Lubbock. Since that time, progress has been made on the water line installation, with over 4,000 feet of water line on the project being constructed over a 3-month period. Some of the business owners impacted by this construction project reached out to state representatives, and we're told Carl Tepper's office responded. We spoke with Tepper, who says he understands their frustrations.
We were aware of a lot of blockages downtown, including for a while there, it seemed like downtown was under siege.
Tepper says his office contacted TxDOT.
We're glad that that our partners at TxDOT recognize that the delays were just absolutely untenable. And they've made some changes in supervision.
Work on 19th Street has resumed, and Tepper is hopeful there won't be any more significant delays. TxDOT's estimated completion date of summer of 2025 is now early 2026, but Marston isn't so sure.
I don't know if I'm going to live long enough to see this finished.
Holland says he's encouraged that work has resumed, but he is ready to see the curtain close on this project.
One family-owned business says the continued road work has put them out of business, and others fear they are soon to follow.
A walk through Galaxy Pond will keep your eyes busy, but much like these once treasured items, this shop now sits, waiting for a new owner and a new story. Gail and Bill Roberts purchased the business in 1995.
Just wanted to be able to work together as a husband and wife. That was our dream.
A dream they've sustained for nearly 3 decades.
It seems like we just got here. We've been here 30 years.
The Roberts say their customers have become more like family.
I mean, it's amazing how many of the kids, they call us man and papa, which is what our grandkids call us. Mom and dad.
Just another reason why the decision to close is so hard.
Our last day as a pond business will be December 31st. It'll be with tears. I'm sorry. We've put our life into this.
In June 2022, construction began on 19th Street. The road runs directly in front of Galaxy Pond. The $25.69 million project will rebuild portions of the existing roadway and update the drainage system, sidewalks, and traffic signals from Memphis Avenue to just east of I-27. The contractor, Sasir, is also installing a new water line and performing stormwater utility work for the city of Lubbock. The Roberts say when the project started, their business slowed.
You know, we did have five employees at one time. That's down to Mama and I and part-timer.
It's a financial hit the Roberts say they can't recover from.
And at our age, we're a little beyond starting over.
Ton Ridaluchai owns Chuchai Restaurant just down the street, or as he would say,
well, technically the restaurant owned me.
His mom started the restaurant in 1982, and while there have been struggles along the way, like the pandemic, he says nothing has taken a toll on the business like this construction project.
It might put me into the early retirement because we've been here 42 years, and this is the worst ever happened in 42 years.
His restaurant near Avenue X is currently inaccessible from 19th Street.
It's a problem nobody can get to me now. They don't know how to get here.
Customers must take the alley to get to his restaurant, a detour people aren't taking.
Essentially, we lost about half of our business.
He says he's also had to close up early.
At one time, they were digging over here, and then they punctured the main water line. So I had to shut down in the afternoon because I can't cook or do anything without water.
Ton says he's thankful for his loyal patrons, but the business hasn't supported itself in months. News he doesn't want to break to his mother.
No, this is her baby. She started this. She asked her how business. I said, it's okay, but I'm not telling her the detail. She doesn't need to know that.
This is what the project looks like further east, near Avenue S, presenting similar issues for Bill Hanselman, president of the Computer Guy.
They said that they make sure that there's access to every business, and I don't really consider this really much access.
Hanselman lost his leg just 1 month before the project began. He says this construction has made the adjustment even more challenging.
They came in and asked me if I needed my sidewalk for anything, and I thought that was one of the most ludicrous questions I had heard recently. But I said, yeah, so people can get from my parking lot to the front door.
But Hanselman says not many people are using the sidewalk or the parking lot because not many people are coming to a shop at all.
3 months with no money, and all the bills that keep coming in, I won't have any money left.
The Roberts are out of money.
We poured everything into this. I left another job and I put my pension into this. And it has been great for us until the last few years.
With their retirement tied up in this business, they pray it will sell soon, but they aren't surprised by the lack of offers.
You can't sell a building here right now, or a business, when business is so low that you have very little customers come in.
We took these business owners' concerns to Senator Charles Perry.
It's not a simple road construction job now. It's a road construction with sewer, water, and other infrastructure needs. Compounding that is you take a state entity and then you take a local government entity. They each had planned schedules that they had different things going on, and then we're still not back to pre-COVID supply and subcontractors.
Business owners we spoke with asked for more communication from those in charge of the project, a suggestion Perry says he took to Steve Warren, the district engineer for TxDOT's Lubbock district.
And said, I think what I hear from Shaley and places is maybe the communication could be better. That most business owners, if they see the end or have some expectation of when that timing may be, they can plan accordingly. What Steve committed to was trying to have a joint meeting with city and state and the affected owners in that area as soon as possible.
What do you say to those business owners who are having to kiss their livelihood goodbye, basically?
I've asked TxDOT in the past, not on this particular project, is there funding or a bucket of money to mitigate some of the loss of business? I was told no. That said, I'm willing to have that conversation, no promises, no guarantees. But in the event that this is going to extend beyond January 1, I think that does rise to a level of maybe there's an opportunity here for the state to mitigate some of that.
The Roberts say it's too late to save their business.
This will be a good location one day. It has been for 30 years, and I'm sure it will be one day eventually, but it won't be us.
More than 24 19th Street business owners showed up to this TxDOT meeting where they asked questions and expressed their frustrations.
I have no entrance except through an alleyway between us and Cavaliers. That is the only entrance.
She's not alone. Bobby Montgomery says access to his business is limited too.
It's the same way, you can't get to it. Half of the time, the parking lot out here, they got it blocked off. They had 19th Street running completely through my parking lot.
That concerns City of Lubbock Mayor Mark McBrayer, who attended tonight's meeting.
With access is the most important. You've got to have access to your business, so I'm hoping that they can get those issues addressed.
This $25.69 million project from Memphis Avenue to just east of I-27 will rebuild portions of the roadway and make updates to the drainage system, sidewalks, traffic signals, and illumination. TxDOT's contractor, Cecere, is also installing a new water line and performing storm utility work for the city of Lubbock. The project was initially scheduled to wrap up next summer, but business owners learned tonight that the new estimated completion date is spring of 2026.
Business owners along 19th Street are upset, and rightfully so. This project has taken way too long. There's been too many issues. What is important, I think, for people to understand is this is not a city project. This is a state project. The state has different rules about contracting than the city does. We try to avoid a lot of these issues.
TxDOT hopes to finish the work on the north side of 19th Street by the end of December.
I hope that's true. I don't have much faith in it, to be honest with you, because we've had a lot of setbacks.
I have guarded optimism. How about that? I would like to see that happen.
When construction ends on the north side, TxDOT will begin construction on the south side, which means these barricades and cones aren't going anywhere anytime soon. No representatives from Sincere or their subcontractors were present, and many of these business owners have questions for them as the construction continues.
Well, I think it's basically a PR, a Band-Aid. You know, when we see it, we'll see it. But this has gone on so long, and it's affecting so many people daily. People are on the brink of going out of business. So I hope that there's something comes of this, but it was disappointing that the contractors who are responsible for this were not here tonight.
TxDOT declined to interview, but staff did tell business owners they will meet with them one-on-one to discuss individual concerns.